Good afternoon. This is Joan McSween, and I'm speaking to you from the Winter Garden Library. Today is Wednesday, December the 12th, 2012. Sir, may I ask your name?
Yes. Good afternoon. I'm Jack Quesinberry. I was mayor of the city of Winter Garden from 1991 to 2007. So I served 16 years and 4 months, but it was enjoyable being the mayor.
Good afternoon, sir. May I ask how it is that you came to be in Winter Garden before you became the mayor?
Well, I was general contractor, and I seemed to be doing more things over this way than I were in the Windermere area, so I ended up moving over here on Highway 50, and then from then on I built a couple houses, and I live down on Plant Street now, and I've lived there for, 27 years, so it's home to me.
And you've been a public servant in Winter Garden. Can you give us some experiences during your term?
First, I was on the Planning and Zoning Board for 10 years, and I said, I guess to get off of the Planning and Zoning, I'm going to have to run for mayor. So anyway, I won the election in '91, and like I've always said, I didn't run to be a politician. I run to be a public servant, and I've helped a lot of people get little things done that, just because of being a contractor, I knew what to do in the building department and all that, and was able to help them. So it's just been a pleasant ride to be in Winter Garden.
And you served, if I'm correct, 3 terms as mayor?
8 terms.
8 terms,
Yeah,
pardon me.
they were 2-year terms at that time,
Oh.
so you was facing the ballot box every time you turned around. But I think 3 of those, or maybe 4, there was no one that run against me, so it was a situation. Didn't have to put up any signs and all that, but no, it was just 8 terms. And you know, people, 8 terms, they think, gee, that if they're 4-year terms, that's a lifetime. But no, it was 8 terms.
And what changes have you seen in Winter Garden since you arrived here?
Well, I knew there had to be something could be done with the downtown area. That it was a blighted city, and we got it on a CRA, which is a community redevelopment agency, and then from that we got a new city manager that saw things like I did, what we needed to do. So when I say blighted, you could have a third of the buildings, you could just look through the dust on the window and there was nothing in there, and you could buy a place or rent a place for practically nothing. And then after we got started and we got the railroad track out down through the center, and then the next thing you know, we tore up all the streets. We put in wide sidewalks so that the restaurants come in and wanted to have chairs out and tables outside, that we could do that. We planned ahead on that, but we spent about $4.5 million on the downtown, on the infrastructure, the lighting, the brick and everything. But I want to point out, it was grants. There's so many grants out there when you're rebuilding a nice city like we've got. We've used very little of the general fund. So to be able to get by the way we did, and we've dedicated the hotel. It was refurbished. We put the clock tower in. We put in the pool down, or the little fountain, and the gazebo, and so much of that we did in the year of 2003. And that year was our 100th year as a city. And we had something every month at no cost to the people. We had the I got to get them straight, thinking straight, but down at the Tanner building, we'd rework that building and all, and it's a nice place for weddings or receptions or anything now, but it was getting run down. But anyway, we had the Orlando Symphony Orchestra come out here, and that's been an ongoing thing. People liked it, so it's been every year. We, like I say, we dedicated all that down in town. I think the clock tower has even got a plaque on it that says 2003. So it took a while to do what has been accomplished. I think we had down at the a memorial park down at the ball field. We had a country western deal that year. Every month we had something at no cost so to get people out to Winter Garden. And when they come through the town now, they want to live here.
Absolutely. What do you remember in the landscape that's actually gone now that you miss?
I don't miss any of it that we got out there. No, down in town, it wasn't what people would really say was a desirable downtown. When you've got a train, I know it wasn't a fast-moving train. It was a switch leg that come through here and went out to the fertilizer plant and back out. But when we got that out, got the trail in, that was a break for us. And the county commissioner at the time was sold on doing something for Winter Garden, and she and I got along. She was a chairman then, and now she's, they moved it to mayor. But she wanted to do something for Winter Garden, and we got along fine, and that was a good start. When we got the tracks out, it was all we needed, and then one or two little restaurants come in that sold nothing but ice cream and cold drinks to take care of the trail, and then that's all it took. After that, then we really developed the downtown area to what it is right now. And I don't think you can find a place to rent down there. We've had two or three, there hadn't been anything new built in Winter Garden in years, and just a few years back we had some commercial buildings come up down in town, and some on Dillard Street. So no, and then with the new shopping center, the mall, which is the Fowler Grove Mall, we've got everything in Winter Garden that you need.
Don't need to go anywhere else.
So as far as the shrubbery, I think our shrubbery now is so superior. It's all right to forget what we had because we didn't have much.
Could you tell me what you see for the future of Winter Garden?
Well, that's kind of I guess, difficult unless they go to some kind of high tech or something in order for the people that live here to work in. I know we had many subdivisions built out here that people bought them at an overpriced price, and then the bottom fell out on that, and a lot of them went into foreclosure or quick sales or whatever you want to call them. But they were working two jobs, both of them, and it just got to where they threw so much back on them after saying they were buying them for only paying the interest on it. Then they threw the monthly mortgage payments in after about 4 or 5 years, and that just threw another $100,000 on each one of them. And I could understand them saying, "Hey, it's not worth it. I'm not going to keep it." So that set us back a little bit. But I think that that's just like you talk about the economy. Can't ride the bottom all the time. It's bound to come up in those places, and the ones that they've just let them run down. That you have to keep code enforcement busy all the time, keeping those places fixed up. And all of our departments are good, and we built a new city hall and built it on the 1955, 50s style and everything. And when we build it, we plan on it being there 100 years. So I had an active part in purchasing the property and getting the plan and picking out the outside, it's tilled up, but most of it, is just a good design, and we're well pleased with that. So as far as the future, unless we can just create something for jobs. Now I know we had planned from 429 to come into the city. That was supposed to have been widened, and now I understand they're getting that in the process, because at the time the county or the state, whichever was going to come in and rework the road, and we said, wait a minute, there's no use repaving. Let us do that when we do the widening. So they give the city $1 million, which they thought it was going to, and they just put it back, let it draw the interest, and now they're ready to put that into that. But that's been in the process for quite some time. But I'm not trying to avoid your question. I just don't know we don't need any more shopping centers. We're blessed with that. We've got the people that are living here that we've got a good clientele of people, or whatever they're not clientele, I guess, just our residents are. We've got good residents and we've got good people that are moving the downtown area, so we're doing everything we can by having open house, and people are just looking for a reason to get downtown in Winter Garden. You can have any kind of a little function and they'll pack the streets. I know when we started with the Light Up Winter Garden, it was about 350 people. Now there's at least 4,000. But things like that grow when you have something nice like that, they attend. So,
Well, it really is a beautiful town.
boy, everybody
And-
that comes out says, hey, it's passing everything else around here. So once they come in, they're ready to come back.
Absolutely. Well, sir, we thank you for your 16 years of service, public service with Winter Garden. I think you accomplished a lot, and we're most grateful for your service.
Well, thank you, and I'd like to be recognized once in a while as that, but still, like I say, it took a lot of people to get it where it's at right now. And they're still all living around here, and